I never told my first love I got her voicemail before the wedding because she said if there's still a part of you that wants me, say something now, and I didn't because by then I was too proud, too late, and too afraid to find out if she'd actually leave him for me. This still messes with my head. It's been 7 years since her wedding and I've never told a single person about the voicemail. I didn't delete it. I didn't save it either. It just sits there on an old burner phone in my desk drawer that I never open. Her name was Sarah. We met in college in Minnesota. She was the kind of girl who didn't need attention to get noticed. Quiet but not shy. Confident but not loud. She worked at the library and always had a scarf on, even indoors. I was the guy with the camera trying to turn art classes into a real job. I photographed student events for money and followed bands on the weekends. We didn't date right away. It started slow. Just me asking if she'd seen this book or that one. Then notes in the pages. Then coffee. Then, before I really understood it was happening, I was in love with her. Real love. Like, I didn't check my phone when I was with her. I didn't think about the future without her in it. We had this rhythm. Friday takeout, Saturday errands, Sunday naps. Felt like a small life, but it was ours. When we graduated, things changed. I wanted to take a travel job in Oregon doing photojournalism for a nonprofit. She got a solid offer to work for her dad's firm back in Iowa. We both said we'd make long-distance work. We said it like people say, I'll call you later, even when they know they won't. We lasted 6 months. It wasn't a big fight that ended us. There was no cheating, no screaming. It was just the slow, quiet kind of falling apart. Less calls. Shorter texts. Missed visits. I flew out once for her birthday and she had to cancel dinner because her dad's office was slammed. I acted like I didn't care. She acted like I understood. We stopped trying after that. She met someone new. Rick. A guy from her dad's firm. I saw the engagement post on Facebook like everyone else. Her in a beige coat, him holding her hand by some frozen lake. I remember staring at the photo thinking that should have been me. But then I told myself to let it go. She'd moved on. I hadn't. That was on me. I didn't hear her voice again until 3 years later. By then I was back in Minnesota, teaching basic photography at a community college. Not the career I imagined. I had roommates. I was tired a lot, but I wasn't miserable. I thought I was done thinking about her. Then I found the old burner phone. I was cleaning out a box of cords and junk from my closet. You know how you do that sometimes? Not because you want to, but because everything else in your life feels out of your control. That phone hadn't been charged in years. I plugged it in just to see if it would turn on. There was one new voicemail, 3 years old, time-stamped at 11:23 p.m. the night before her wedding. Her voice sounded the same, but also not, like she was whispering in a room where she shouldn't be talking at all. She said, I don't know if you even still have this number, but if there's still a part of you that wants me, say something now, because I will go. I swear to God I will go. Then silence. Then she said one more thing, softer. I don't know if I want you to say anything, or if I just need to know you still could. That line gutted me. I sat there in my room, with that ugly beige carpet under me, holding a phone that hadn't rung in years. I didn't know what to do. I paced. I nearly threw it against the wall. I put it in the drawer, took it back out, played the voicemail again, and then I did nothing. I didn't call her. I didn't text. I didn't even send a one-word reply like, why? Because deep down, I think I already knew the answer. I told myself it was too late, that she was already gone, that if she really wanted me, she would have done more than just leave a voicemail on a number she wasn't sure I still used. But the truth? I was afraid she meant it. I was afraid she would have left him, and I didn't want that kind of responsibility. I didn't want to find out she still loved me and then mess it up again. Or worse, find out she didn't. I was too proud, too late, and too damn afraid. A few days later, the wedding photos showed up on social media. She looked happy, peaceful, like someone who'd made her choice. And I stayed silent. I still have the voicemail. I've never told anyone I got it. And I don't think I ever will. 2 years after her wedding, I saw her in person again. It wasn't planned. I was in Des Moines for a weekend shoot, local event coverage for a regional magazine. One of those small city best of street fairs with food trucks, cover bands, and artsy booths. I wasn't excited to be there, but I needed the money. I was walking past a kettle corn stand when I heard her laugh. That specific laugh, soft but quick, with that sharp little inhale she always did right after. It made me freeze in place. And there she was. Sarah. In jeans, a light green top, holding a balloon for a little boy standing next to her. Her son. He looked maybe 3. And Rick was there too, holding a plastic bag of snacks. He had on a backwards cap, sunglasses, and a t-shirt with some company logo on it. I didn't even realize I was staring until she looked up and saw me. She didn't flinch. She just looked right at me. Her eyes went wide for half a second, then settled. Like she was already prepared for it. I didn't wave. I didn't smile. I just nodded. Barely. And she gave me this small, tight-lipped look that wasn't a smile, but wasn't cold either. I walked away before Rick turned around. I spent the rest of the day rattled. I screwed up 2 shots. I forgot to charge a battery. I didn't stop shaking until I got back to the motel. I kept thinking, did she remember the voicemail too? Did she look at me and think he could have said something? The next morning, I drove past the local park. I don't know why. I wasn't planning to stalk her or anything. I just needed to feel something that made sense. Like, maybe seeing her life, her real, everyday life, would close some kind of door in my head. But she was there. Alone this time. Sitting on a bench, watching her son on the jungle gym. No Rick in sight. I parked across the street and waited. 10 minutes. Maybe more. Then I got out of the car and walked over. I don't know what I was planning to say. Maybe nothing. Maybe, hey, long time. But when I got close, she stood up. Like she'd felt me coming. And she said it. Quietly. You got it, didn't you? Just like that. No hesitation. I didn't answer right away. I just looked at her. She looked older. More tired. But still exactly her. She nodded like my silence was enough. I figured you did. I don't know why I sent it, she said. I was drunk. I was scared. I thought maybe I needed you to save me from something I chose myself. The wind picked up a little. Her son yelled something from the slide. I wanted to ask you, she added, still not looking me in the eye. Why didn't you say anything? I had a million answers. None of them good. But all I said was because I didn't know if you meant it. She looked at me then. Really looked. I did. That hit harder than I expected. And for the first time I felt something like anger crawl up. Then why didn't you try again? Why just one voicemail? Her face changed. She looked tired. Not just physically, but like she was carrying a weight I'd never understood. Because I wasn't yours to keep chasing. I gave you one window. I shouldn't have. But I did. You didn't open it. That was your choice. And then she turned. Walked back to the playground like the conversation was over. I didn't follow. Couldn't. That day stuck with me. Because I realized something I'd never let myself admit. I wasn't just scared to find out if she'd leave him. I was scared she would and that I wouldn't know what to do with her once she did. I thought that park conversation was the end of it. I figured we'd had our one awkward, unfinished closure. That she'd go back to her life and I'd go back to mine. That's how these things usually go, right? People drift apart, bump into each other, say the things they never said, and walk away. But then 3 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail. Not a text. Not an email. A real, physical letter, eh? No return address, just my name and the old apartment number I still used because I couldn't afford to move. The handwriting on the envelope stopped me cold. It was hers. Inside was a single sheet of paper folded twice. No greeting. No sign-off. Just one paragraph. I don't know if I'm supposed to apologize to you or if you're supposed to apologize to me. Maybe it doesn't matter. But I can't pretend I didn't wonder every day what would have happened if you'd answered. I'm not writing to start anything. I just need you to know that I meant it. I would have gone. I had a bag packed. Rick never knew. I slept on the couch that night. If you had called, I wouldn't be living this life right now. That's not a threat. It's not a regret either. It's just the truth. I read it 3 times. I kept thinking maybe I missed something hidden in the lines. A second letter. A secret message. But no, that was it. She had packed a bag. She had slept on the couch. That voicemail wasn't a drunken impulse. It was a plan. And still, I'd done nothing. I didn't respond to the letter. I wanted to. I wrote at least 5 drafts. Some angry, some begging, some sarcastic. But I didn't send any of them. Because what was I going to say? Sorry I didn't believe you? Sorry I needed you to prove it harder? Weeks passed, then months, and then one day, out of nowhere, I got a text. From Rick. I didn't even know he had my number. Turns out we'd been in a group text years ago for one of Sarah's surprise birthday parties, and he saved it. The message just said, "You and I need to talk. Don't involve her. Just be at Joe's Coffee on 8th by 4 o'clock. You know why?" I stared at it for 10 minutes. I wasn't going to go. I told myself it was probably some macho thing, Rick wanting to throw a punch or make a scene. But I showed up anyway, and Rick was already there. No sunglasses, no hat. Just him, sitting in a corner booth, staring straight ahead like he didn't want to be seen. He waved me over with 2 fingers. "Sit down," he said. "No hello." I sat. He didn't speak for a minute, just looked at me with this dull, unreadable face. Then he said, "You don't have to lie. I know about the voicemail." I didn't say anything. He continued, "She didn't tell me. I found the letter she wrote you. I read it. Twice." He leaned back. "Do you still love her?" The way he said it, no anger, just flat, made it worse. "I don't know," I said. He gave a short laugh, like he didn't believe me. "I think she does," he said. "Or did. Or maybe just wishes she did. It's hard to tell anymore." I asked him why he wanted to meet. Rick looked at me then, "For real? I need you to stay out of it. I don't care what you felt or what she said. We have a kid. A mortgage. A life. She's going through something right now and she needs space. She doesn't need ghosts showing up and confusing her more." And then he added something I didn't expect. "She almost left that night. I felt it. But she didn't. And that counts for something. Don't take that away from her." He stood up, walked out, never even touched his coffee. And I was left sitting there, wondering which one of us she'd been more honest with. A week after that meeting with Rick, I got an email. It wasn't from Sarah. It was from her sister, Maggie. We'd only met a few times back when Sarah and I were together, but she always liked me. I remember her being the blunt one, didn't tiptoe around anything. Her message was short, "Call me. It's about Sarah. I'm not supposed to be doing this." She left her number. I waited until after work, paced for a full hour, then finally dialed. Maggie picked up on the first ring. "She didn't tell me about the voicemail," she said. "Or the letter. Or seeing you. But I know something's going on." I stayed quiet. "She's not okay," Maggie said. "She's been quiet for months. Not just tired. Numb. She's not talking to me, not really. And when I ask her about Rick, she changes the subject. I'm not trying to get in the middle of anything, but I don't want her to disappear into that house and become someone none of us recognize." I asked why she was telling me. "Because you're part of this, whether you like it or not." She never looked at him the way she looked at you. "And I think you know that." I didn't know what to say. The line went quiet. Then Maggie said something that shook me more than the voicemail, the letter, or the talk with Rick. She came to my place last week and asked what it would take to start over. Somewhere else. Just her and the kid. No Rick. I felt something drop in my chest. "You think she's serious?" I asked. "I think she's already planning it," Maggie said. And that's when it hit me, this wasn't over. Not even close. It wasn't just some old wound we both poked at out of nostalgia. She had stayed, yes, but not because she was sure. Maybe just because I hadn't stopped her. Now she was weighing it again. And I didn't know if that was something I should fight for or walk away from. I didn't sleep much that night. And 2 days later I got a message. From her. Just one line, "Can we talk?" Really talk. Just once. We did talk. It wasn't dramatic. No yelling, no running through airports. Just 2 people in a quiet diner saying all the things they never said when it still might have mattered. She cried a little. I didn't. I wanted to. She said she was staying for now. For her son. For the life she'd already built. I told her I understood. And I meant it. At least I think I did. We haven't spoken since. Sometimes I still hear her voice in my head if there's still a part of you that wants me. And I guess what I've learned is wanting someone doesn't always mean you're the right person for them. Or maybe it does. I don't know. I just know that I waited too long to find out and now I have to live with the silence I chose.